Welcome to today's Explainer. Look, we're stepping away from our usual topics today to unpack something really serious. We've got a rapidly developing, frankly tragic situation out of San Diego, and we're going to rely directly on the facts laid out in a recent multi-agency press conference. Let's just get right into what's been confirmed.
Here's the grim reality of what happened. A devastating shooting unfolded at the Islamic Center of San Diego. The toll? 5 people are dead. The San Diego police chief actually called the subsequent police response the most dynamic he's literally ever seen in his entire 28-year career. It's turned into this massive multi-agency operation, and the FBI is now urgently investigating.
Section 1. Tragedy at the Islamic Center.
So we have to start with this number right here, 5. In the immediate aftermath of all the chaos, the police chief confirmed that 5 lives were lost in connection to this horrific event. It's absolutely crucial we establish this reality right out of the gate, because it really dictates the sheer scale of the police response and just how heavy this ongoing investigation is going to be.
Okay, let's break down the basic facts authorities have confirmed so far. We are dealing with an active shooting incident centered right at the Islamic Center of San Diego. As for the human cost, it's severe. 3 adult males were found deceased at the scene. They're the presumed victims. And on top of that, 2 suspects who authorities say were teenagers are also deceased.
And the sheer physical chaos that law enforcement had to navigate here, it was massive. This wasn't just contained to one single building. The whole thing spanned multiple locations. It actually started when officers responded to the 7100 block of Salerno. A landscaper was shot at there, though thankfully he was uninjured. At the exact same time, officers were making this rapid entry into the Islamic Center itself, plunging straight into an active shooter scene. Then, just moments later, over on the 3800 block of Hatton, officers found a vehicle containing the 2 deceased suspects.
Section 2. Victims and suspects.
Now, authorities have officially confirmed some details about the people involved. On one side of this awful tragedy, we have the 3 adult male victims. On the other side are the 2 suspects. The police chief specified that these suspects are believed to be teenagers, just 17 and 19 years old.
But, beyond these tragic statistics, there's a really profound human element here that the police chief made sure to highlight. One of those 3 adult victims, he was a security guard working at the Islamic Center. And the chief was explicit about this. He said this guard played a pivotal role in preventing things from getting so much worse. It's just a stark, heartbreaking reminder of the incredible heroism we often see emerge in the absolute darkest moments. As for those 2 teenage suspects, here's what investigators have pieced together. The first officers arriving on the scene actually didn't even engage with the suspects in the parking lot, like we mapped out a second ago. They were found dead in a vehicle a couple of blocks down the street. It's important to note, police clarified that no officers fired their weapons. Based on the preliminary evidence, it really looks like the suspects died from self-inflicted gunshot wounds.
Section 3. The law enforcement response.
Just 4 minutes. That's how fast officers arrived on the scene. San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria actually made a point to highlight this exact metric, praising the incredible dedication of these public safety professionals. When a totally dynamic, terrifying situation like this breaks out, a 4-minute response time is literally the critical difference when you're trying to secure a massive campus.
And let's talk about the sheer scale of that response. The chief noted that somewhere between 50 to 100 police officers immediately flooded the inside of the facility. After finding the 3 victims outside, these officers instantly transitioned right into active shooter protocol. They were systematically breaching doors, clearing the whole facility room by room. It was an incredibly chaotic environment that pulled in basically every available officer and deputy from all around the county.
I think this quote from the San Diego police chief really nails down what those first responders were facing. He said, "They're doing exactly what they're trained to do, run towards gunfire." He expressed just immense gratitude that they were willing to drop whatever they were doing, leave their own families, and head straight into harm's way without batting an eye.
Amidst all this extremely heavy information, Mayor Todd Gloria offered a really vital moment of relief. See, there's a school right there on the campus of the Islamic Center, so making sure those students were safe was obviously a massive priority. The mayor officially confirmed that the threat had been neutralized, and most importantly, the children were safe. The police chief even mentioned that watching those kids run out, just so thankful to be alive, was the one moment that really hit him emotionally.
Section 4. The investigation ahead. Now, whenever there's an attack on a religious institution, everyone immediately asks why. What's the motive? The police chief didn't sugarcoat it. He stated directly,
Because of this Islamic center location, we are considering this a hate crime until it's not. That right there sets the official operating framework for this entire investigation, ensuring they throw every possible resource at uncovering exactly what drove this violence.
And to that point, local law enforcement definitely isn't working alone here. The special agent in charge of the FBI's San Diego field office outlined the massive federal resources they've deployed. They're bringing in special agents, task force officers, evidence response personnel, and victim specialists. The goal is to work around the clock to meticulously piece this giant puzzle back together. For the local community reeling from all of this, officials did lay out some immediate actionable steps. First off, the mayor urged everyone to avoid the area entirely so law enforcement can do their jobs safely. Second, they set up a specific reunification center at 4125 Hathaway so parents could reconnect with their kids and loved ones. And finally, they put out a huge plea to the public for information, reminding everyone that even the smallest detail could actually be a massive break for the FBI.
So to make that as easy as possible, the FBI set up a digital media tip line. You can submit tips online over at fbi.gov or simply call 1-800-CALL-FBI. Getting that information into the right hands is absolutely crucial right now.
We'll wrap up today's explainer with this thought. As the San Diego community begins this really agonizing healing process, and as the FBI and local police comb through all the camera footage and physical evidence, we're all kind of left waiting, right? What will this investigation ultimately reveal about the motive behind such devastating violence? It's a huge unanswered question, and it's going to take time to resolve. But as the mayor assured the community, accountability will be pursued and violence like this has absolutely no place in the city. Thank you for joining me to unpack the facts of this tragic story. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time.